want to see how long they'll sit here and listen to me do that. Hi guys, welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack the motherfucking Cochran. Hope you guys are well. Jack, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Sad because I took a night off. I missed Hump Day. Hump Day is my favorite day. Not only did I miss Hump Day, I missed Chaz Clearing Day.
Oh, that was beautiful.
So, I mean, other than that, I'm great. But of all the days, last night, Jack, I got off the game stream. I was like, you know what? I just need a day off the internet. And so I didn't go to bed until like 6:30 in the morning-ish, somewhere around there. And between the end of the game stream and then, I didn't do anything. I was playing a video game. Minding my own damn business. And since then, I haven't done much online either, other than the shows I've been on. Just minding my own business, you know?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I did, because the first thing I saw when I woke up was you telling me that Chaz was being cleared. And I looked at the time. I was like, fuck. So I went back to Haley's stream and I rewatched it. I did watch quite a bit of it. It took them several hours to clear it completely out. But to get the people out, it only took them like half an hour.
Oh, yeah. They were lightning fast for a lot of that. I was really surprised that they didn't have that much resistance.
Well, I also, I wonder how much of that is just because there's so much soy right there in Chaz.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Now I had messaged Seattle PD thanking them for finally doing this because the longer this went on, the worse it was going to get. And somebody said, called me a bootlicker.
What?
Yeah, and I was like, not today because they've got so much soy from kicking all that ass.
They got pushed out by people who were just carrying bikes in front of them.
Yeah, I know. Like, those cops had their tactics down. They were very well trained. Did you see how many bike cops were there?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was watching I was watching every angle of this thing that I could find, and it was a really impressive sight. I thought it would just be the one group, maybe two, but no, they had fucking cops everywhere. And like 5 armored personnel carriers, which is kind of terrifying. It was amazing. That I was really impressed with the way the Seattle PD handled that. Very efficient.
Now, this brings up the elephant in the room. Why not sooner?
Because last night they marched on the mayor's house and she got scared.
Yeah, I keep hearing that about, she did that, or that they marched on her, and I get that, and that's probably it. She's like, it's enough. They're coming for me now. Doesn't this put more people in play to go to her house?
Yeah, because all you have to do is march on the mayor's house if you want something done.
Well, I mean, like, it's not like people marched on her house to get it closed down, so these people, they have nowhere left in Chaz to go, so now they can go hang out at the mayor's house.
Yeah.
Good job, Mayor. Jack, we watched quite a bit of this last week, and we were watching last Thursday. Real quick, over on the Streamlabs, let me get this before I finish that thought there. Cult of Krill, thank you so much. Did you see the Harvard grad Asian cunt who called for killing white people lost her job at Deloitte, I think is how you say that. I've never laughed so hard at someone losing a job. Now, in fairness, she didn't call for white people to be killed. She said anybody who says all lives matter. Anybody. So she wasn't racial in at least that part. But yeah, I saw she lost her job, and she was God. If you watch did you see that clip, Jack, of her saying that she was going to stab the next person who said all lives matter?
Yeah, it's been going around.
What she says, I'm going to stab the next person who says it. And then she finishes by going, and show them my paper cut and say all cuts are all cuts matter or something like that. She was making a really stupid analogy in a very violent way.
Yeah. Well, it's just dumb to say that. What did you expect to happen?
Jordan, thank you so much. Who says, Jack? Oh, hi, Monk.
Hi, Jordan.
Thank you for the donation. I don't understand why this year of all years you would think that was okay. They're canceling everybody for any bad look.
Oh, yeah, it's a cancellation fest lately.
And yes, it is more aimed at conservatives, but liberals, I think some of these liberals have it in their mind that they can literally say anything. But once you get to the point of that kind of thing, because whether she meant it as a death threat or not, that is certainly how it comes across.
Yeah.
The paper cut part is a very minor little thing. The I will stab them is like a little bit intense. So, yeah, I mean, this is what I was talking about the other day when we were talking about this. Like, when it comes to the cancel part, I don't know if there's anything. What are you going to do? Tell her she can't say that? And they'll just say, all right. And then she'll say it again next time and get it and just keep getting away with it. On a principle level, I'm not okay with her losing her job because I do think she was just making a really stupid comparison. She didn't say, the next time I see somebody stabbed,
Yeah.
I'm going to stab them. Maybe, just maybe that's not the right wording, sweetie. Don't worry, guys. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. Some liberal think tank will pick her up because she's getting a voice from this. Isn't that fucked up? I'm going to make me a video about doing horrible things to people and see if I can't get some big press coverage out of it. Probably not. I'd get thrown in jail or something.
Yeah, probably.
Going back to Chaz, though, we were watching last Thursday, and it was quiet. Nothing was happening there. We were watching Friday. It was quiet. Nothing was happening there. And people get shot this week, and a kid got killed there. A 16-year-old kid.
Yeah, I saw that. Saw it live. People kept sending me the video after it, and I'm like, oh, dude, I've seen this.
Right. She could have done this anytime last week. She said she was waiting for this week, you guys. And this is her fault. That kid's death is her fault.
Oh, absolutely. This should have been done after the first shooting. Actually, this should have been done on day one. But
should have been done before any of the shootings, yeah.
Yeah, but last night, I was watching it for hours before they cleared off. Actually, I was about to go to bed when they started showing up. Because there had been talk, because on the police scanner, they mentioned something about a convoy. But nobody really paid much attention. Somebody just offhandedly mentioned it, and I'd heard it on the scanner. Because Broadcastify has the police bands.
Oh, okay.
I got way too into this. And there had been 2 fights, like actual fist fights, before the cops showed up. And I was just waiting to hear gunshots the entire time.
Right.
And one guy was like, I'm going to cut you. There were some ethnic slurs because one guy was complaining that he kept getting called a Jew. And he's like, call me that one more time, motherfucker. And there was a scuffle. So I was kind of surprised nothing happened before the police showed up. But, man, when they showed up, they just rolled right up. It was like that. Just all at once, they arrived, and they were on the scene. They did not fuck around. It was amazing, the overwhelming magnitude of it. Because if I had 30 seconds earlier gone to bed, I'd have missed it.
Yeah, and if you watch the whole thing, it only takes them, if I did the math in my head correctly, because, it was a live stream, so you got to go backwards and try to figure it out. I want to say it only took them like 6 hours to completely get rid of all of that garbage, to just sweep the whole street. The only way you can tell anything was ever done there is because there's still graffiti everywhere.
Yeah.
But the barrier's gone, the tent city gone, calling it a tent cities. The vagrant homes, let's call it that.
Yeah, it was a homeless encampment.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how many homeless were in that park, because when I went later on, when somebody else was streaming, and they were on the front line there and by the park, Concrete somebody, and he was near the park itself, and there were a lot of like tents out there that you couldn't see from any of the cameras. So I didn't realize how many people were back in that camp.
Real quick, Shio, thank you. Monk needs to find a genocide to deny, or to get that sweet, sweet YouTube money. Oh, I'm going to deny the Mongolian genocide. I don't know if there was one.
The only Mongolian genocide I know of was the Mongolian dinner I had.
Well, there you go. And in chat, Demo Man said that somebody said that the 14-year-old died too. I hadn't seen that, and I haven't been able to confirm it. What we do know is the 16-year-old died. Yeah,
the story's been going around that the 14-year-old died, but I think they're going to keep that quiet. If he did die, I don't think we're going to hear about it. But I've been hearing that rumor too. Real quick, thank you, Jordan 250, for the donation. So a really nice charity that helps infants with Down syndrome. Didn't donate, but it made me think of you. Thanks, Jordan.
Wow. Original link sent to Jack's DMs. There you go. Yeah, guys, I don't know if that kid was killed or not. I hope he didn't die, but either way, that shooting is on Mayor Jenny. Mayor Jenny. Hee. And then I saw that Scott Adams tweet where he said, she played this perfectly. I'm like, are you drunk? Seriously, are you drunk? 2 kids got shot before she ended this shit.
Yeah.
Even if you go back to the first shooting, the kid who died was 19. How many years did those people lose? Well, none, because, Mayor Jenny set up the city so that she turned into fucking Arkham Asylum.
Right? I'm going to start run loose. I came up with this yesterday. I want her to be named Bloody Mare.
Ooh.
Mary?
Gotcha.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, again, I do want to reiterate that the person who pulled the trigger is also responsible for the death. But she set up the means for it to happen here. Scribbles looked this up, and I think it was all of last year, or maybe it was just the beginning half of this year, whichever. There was a grand total of 2 shootings in that area. So it's either 6 months or a year's time, whichever. And in a matter of 3 weeks, there were at least 5 shootings with 2 people dead, at least 2. Good job. Good job, Mayor Jenny. You played the situation perfectly, according to Dilbert, dude.
Right? That's fucked up. And for such a small encampment that was only in existence for 3 weeks, that's a high crime rate.
That's a real high crime rate. And that's not counting any theft or any assault, rapes, which we saw several of.
Oh, yeah. There were a lot of fights there. I mean, you can find a whole bunch of videos on the fights there. Not including the 2 I saw last night. But, that Justin's right. That's what happens when there's no cops.
Yep. And literally, there's a police station on that corner.
Well, there will be again, thankfully. That should never have happened.
Nope.
Ever. Yeah, the sexual assaults, the regular assaults, the violence in general, theft, etc.
Extortion. We heard about that.
Yeah.
For security on your business here, you don't have to pay us.
Yeah. And if they don't arrest that Roz guy and do some massive digging on him, there's going to be some real miscarriage of justice. Because I'd be willing to bet most of those guns were his.
Yes, the summer of love is over, 1984. Unfortunately, they made it to the mayor's house, and she was like, no, we got to stop it. Oh, man.
Yeah, this was a tragedy that was just designed that way. I'm just glad that nobody got killed in this ruckus. I saw a massive said that 5 cops had to go to the hospital for soy poisoning.
Yeah.
But they'll be fine. They'll just get some testosterone and eat some red meat. They'll be good to go.
They'll recover.
Yeah, I saw about 5 arrests in the initial wave there. I'm sure there were a lot more, but I know of at least 5 arrests by people that tried to attack the cops for doing dumb shit. Or they might have been targeted specifically because of that shooting too.
My favorite part of it, though, was as it was over, the police are standing there in a line, keeping people out. And there's this one guy who fancies himself a reporter, which good for him. I'm not citizen journalism. I'm all for it. But he was very incensed that the city took all those people's belongings. You mean the trash they left on the floor?
Yeah, all their
but
filthy.
There were computers and stuff in there. Why?
Yeah, why would you have your computer there? Like, are you trying to get robbed?
Yeah, I saw there was this one part where supposedly some guy, he looked like he worked for the city or something, and he was there to help clean up. But he supposedly had put a computer or a laptop and something else into his car instead of like into any of the trucks. Those trucks should just be dumped in a landfill. It was all garbage.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even a shanty town, Jack. It was just they weren't even tents. Most of them were just the awning things that you get, the covers, like you put over a picnic table or something that they were sleeping in because they'd wrap a blanket around the outside of it. It looks horrible, and I'm glad it's gone.
I am too. What a blight on the city. I feel bad for any of the cleanup crews that have to move all that shit and that have to remove all the paint and graffiti, because that was probably a pretty monumental task to move all that garbage, and to remove the paint. Oh, that's going to be such a pain in the ass.
The graffiti, I'm wondering if the city's even going to bother trying to clean it up, or if they'll just leave it and make the business owners and such try to get rid of it themselves if they want to. All the floppy dicks that are painted on the windows.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping those businesses win their lawsuit and they can get the money to remove that shit.
Oh, I don't see how they don't win this.
I don't either. It's a slam dunk, I would think. They totally abandoned every responsibility they have as a city. It's insane how much they didn't do. I'm surprised the electricity still works there.
Yeah. You need a nuclear fire to properly sanitize those streets. Oh, man. I can't imagine what that stink was like when they first went in there. When they first went under the tarps and oh.
Yeah, it smelled like patchouli and old crotch.
I am glad to see there was no real violence or anything.
Yeah, the cops used minimal force. I thought they'd go in, drop in, flashbangs and stuff like that, but they just marched in and pushed them back. Yeah,
the Chazers, the protesters, are we still calling them that? They ran like hell.
Yeah, they did. They pushed out real fast. And that kind of surprised me too, because I know the cops were worried about it because they had snipers set up on 3 different buildings.
Yeah, I heard about that. The one guy mentioned that, the police had gone up on the roofs. I'm like, oh, those are snipers.
Yeah, they weren't fucking around. After this last shooting, I think they expected to have some armed resistance. And I did too. I really expected these people to turn into the Last Stand of John Brown or the Alamo.
Pirates, I hadn't even thought of that. Trump was right. It only took an hour. Because Trump told Mayor Jenny, hey, we'll come in and do it for you. It'll take an hour.
Yeah, it took less than that, really. Because I think the camp in the park was really just a homeless camp, and they were kind of leeching off these people.
Yeah, the clearing the streets took about half an hour, and it was maybe another half hour when it switches to where they're clearing the park. And again, that was really, really fast. So, yeah, Trump was right. Nobody's going to give him credit for that, though. You won't see a headline that says, Donald Trump was right. It took less than an hour to clean these hippies out. The other part I'm surprised, and this, I really am surprised there wasn't more of a resistance there, is because if they were just going to leave anyway, it really made no sense. All of the moving that they did of the barricades.
Yeah.
For the last several nights, guys, well, I don't know if they did it last night. At least 2 or 3 nights in a row, we saw them moving barricades around and making it harder for traffic and stuff to get through, where it looked like they were really hunkering down. Real quick, Uncle Ira, thank you. Monk and Jack, nephew Tyler's birthday, if you could. Of course we can.
Yeah.
Tyler, it's your birthday. This is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tyler. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tyler. I hope you have a great one. I really do.
Real quick. Thank you, Shio. The world's newest country of Chaz has declared independence from the U.S., but the government is still making sure that they're set up with free public toilets. Amazingly, they've been independent for such a short time that they've already received foreign aid.
Guys, don't forget, we are brought to you by you. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and if you can, please toss money at me and my friend Jack here, because we like to eat. Yeah, we saw them basically hunkering down, it looked like, and I wonder if these idiots thought a whole bunch of people would come stand up with them.
Oh, I'm sure they did. And I'm kind of surprised they didn't have more people there, despite the violence, because of the diehard, rah-rah nature of the movement and all the free stuff.
Well, you also have to look at the fact, like Raz, he bailed last week when Mayor Jenny said they were coming back in.
Well, apparently he didn't, because he's the one that drove these kids to the hospital.
Really?
Yeah, that's what one of the on-the-ground guys said that's been hanging out there.
Because he had put out a statement telling everybody to go home.
I don't know. He might have, but he should still be investigated for his involvement in the guns.
Absolutely. Yeah, he had put out a statement on Twitter telling everybody to go home. It was over, and now the movement has to live on by voting for Joe Biden.
Yeah. I'm curious with if he bought those guns with money from Dubai, does that count? And one of those guns kills this kid. Does that count as an act of war?
More an act of terrorism. Yeah, because unless Dubai was, understanding that that's what the money was specifically going for, was to fight the government, you know. If anybody wants a copy of Osteopath Weekly, I have back issues. I see what you did there. That was a plant, not Roz. I don't know if it was him or not. Don't care either way. He's an asshole, and we saw him giving guns to somebody who was clearly untrained to have them.
Yeah, without running a background check, by the way.
Yeah. Did you see the way that kid was holding the gun when he first gave it to him, and everybody like, point it down.
Right? That kid had no idea what he was doing.
I did this in Call of Duty, yo.
Yeah, that's how a lot of these kids looked. It's funny because Seattle's YouTube page has a greatest hits reel of some of the crimes in the Chaz, and it's a bunch of people running around with guns. And I'm like, there are so many you guys missed.
Right? I'm glad it's torn down. I'm glad there was no real issues, but Mayor Jenny, the press should just be destroying her for this. And I haven't seen anything like that.
Oh, no, because the cause is righteous.
Jedi Ghost Bear, thank you. Mayor Jenny and Sawant deserve each other. Yeah, we talked about that. Do you know what's going on with this whole Sawant thing?
No.
She's one of the members of the city council, and she helped in the march to the mayor's house. And the mayor was really pissed off because under some law, her address isn't supposed to be even known. And how dare you put my kids in danger kind of thing, which, you know what? I'm with her on that. Yeah. However, Mayor Jenny, I haven't seen you say jack fuck when this happens to any other politician.
Yeah, and she didn't seem to give a shit about any kids that might be living in that area. I mean, there's a lot of apartments in there. And
there are people who camp out at Mitch McConnell's house all the time. I mean, it was really funny when they went to Tucker Carlson's house.
Yeah.
It's real funny when any conservative gets doxxed. It's not a big deal. Stop it. At Mayor Jenny's house, however, apparently you got to be careful. And look, you shitbags who march on people's homes, stop it.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Real quick, thank you, Fatty057. Counter terrorists win. That's right.
Oh, I can't say that I would have been sad to see somebody get like hit in the leg a few times with a police baton.
Right.
Not in the head. I don't want him to get seriously hurt. I just want him to walk with a limp for a week. I did hear there was one person, or well, at least there was a firing of a rubber bullet, rubber ball, whatever they are. I don't know if it hit anybody, but did you guys cover Fredo's interview with Mark McCloskey? I didn't even know about it.
Oh, I saw the clip from that. I think I put it on the hashtag, but I can send it to you if you want to see it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that. I'm sorry, I cut you off there, Jackie. I just saw that. What about the 16-year-old black boy is dead and the 14-year-old critical condition shot by Chaz Cavs? If this were my mayor, I'd be trying to recall the bitch.
Right?
What happened there was a complete dereliction of duty. And I do not understand how the media doesn't care. I know why they don't. I just don't understand it. I don't understand how you can look at that and be like, that's fine.
Yeah. First of all, their security forces murdered an unarmed black boy.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me that that's not news? I don't think so. Like, this was vigilantism, pure and simple. But security forces that gunned down 2 kids with no apparent weapons? Come on, that fits their entire narrative. Just it's not politically convenient because these are people they endorsed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, real fast. Thank you, Shio. I just bought my pet duck a face mask so I could take him for a walk during coronavirus. It's nothing flashy, but it fits the bill.
Well done. He wasn't a black trans. What? I'm not sure what that means, Chris, but that does remind me. Did you see the trans guy topless dancing in front of the police? It wasn't in Chaz. I think this is in the New York one because New York now has its own Chaz. All I can say is I'm disturbed by that video because he's got some kind of breasts, but they're not exactly a feminine looking breast and they're not exactly a man looking breast. I don't know what they are. They're weird hybrid. They're a man woman titty. I can't show it on the screen, guys, because it's probably would get me in trouble for showing breast, but is that a link? Yeah, there we go. I can actually link it for you guys. This was, I think, in New York, but there you go. Bourgeois socialism in action is what it says, and just watch it for a second, and just look at them titties and tell me that that's not the most unnatural, ungodly thing you've ever seen. No, I wasn't aroused at all, Sean. I'm not even a breast man, and I was offended for breast men looking at this. Man, woman titties, is that like dog, cat, fox? Yes, except for not cute. They're really disgusting. Anyway, I'll pull up the Cuomo thing, and we'll watch that in just a few. But any last words on Chaz here, Jack?
I'm glad they cleared it up and as safely and quickly as they did. So, yeah, good job to the cops on that. Very efficient work.
Half of you don't even have a college education. He says, "Oh, are you talking about the guy in that video?" Yeah, this video has gotten a lot of hate to it because of the absolute entitlement bullshit from this guy. what they call it a privileged position he's arguing from.
Bourgeoisie
Like,
socialism. Yeah.
it's like, well, yeah, most of the protests are arguing from that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You notice these motherfuckers don't have to go to their jobs. Officer Buck, thank you. He's awfully fit to be having moobs. I know, but they're not even moobs. It's so weird. Hazmat, thank you. I bet it's those Abby boobs. If you look at it, you can decide for yourself. And Frank says, how long will New York Chaz last? I don't know. De Blasio's too busy running around trying to get Burns in on Trump for some reason. That's what is important to him at this moment. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is basically calling him and Cuomo a bitch every other moment, and they're like, yeah, we are, but Trump sucks. It's a weird thing going on in New York right now. So hell, the whole city could turn into Chaz for all I care. Anyway, yeah, final thoughts on Chaz. I would say I would be suing if I lived there. Yeah, I would be suing if anybody I cared about that was in my family got hurt there. What happened was a travesty. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's still a massive police presence in there because I'm looking at some of the video angles that are still up.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently there are some protesters on the border of the park, but I can't find a live stream about it.
Do they
that'll come out tomorrow?
Have the police opened up the precinct?
I can't tell. Looks like that's still boarded up, but they might be inside because the windows and doors are all boarded up still. But they might have gone in the Sallyport gate.
Right.
So, but there's cops all over that area doing roving patrols, vehicles all over the place. So, yeah, these it sounds like they want to the kids want to reclaim it, but I don't think that's going to happen.
And don't forget, what happened there in Chaz wasn't just in Chaz. That precinct doesn't just serve that 6-block area.
Yeah.
This increased call times for 911. What did they say? Was it from like 3 minutes to 18 minutes or some shit like that?
Yeah, I heard some calls. Some of the calls were up to an hour wait.
Yeah, because you shut down a police precinct. Good job. Well done. Fucking assholes. So yeah, it affected more than just the businesses that were in that area, more than just graffiti being there. This hurt the city. So if I lived anywhere in that area, I'd be thinking of suing that twat, and I'd definitely be starting a recall petition on her.
Yeah. Well, maybe they could get somebody better in office on their next election, but yeah, recall would be fantastic.
Well, it'll be interesting because now she has called for the removal of the chick who led the people to her house, Mayor Jenny on Sahant or whatever, however you say her fucking name. It'll be interesting to see if there's some internal fight because that woman is on the city council. The mayor is basically the president of the city council. Maybe she'll make a push to get her removed. She obviously thinks there's something wrong with Mayor Jenny.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they went to Mayor Jenny's house. Why are they protesting her?
I think they got arrogant and they're like, we're already getting our way on one part. Let's go full bore.
Thank you, Frank. Let's just quote, if you call the cops, you're part of the problem. We've seen that going around. Yeah. It was actually Matt Christensen's video. Me and Jack. Did you ever go watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt did a video on this town or block or something where everybody's agreed they won't call the cops on any black people. Even this one kid who did call the cops on black people because they tried stealing his car at gunpoint. And then he's like, I feel so bad about doing that.
It's fucking dumb.
You feel bad about calling the police on somebody who robbed you at gunpoint. Well, they could have got killed. So could you, jackass. I hate stupid people. I love them. They make my job easier. They give me something to laugh at. But I would trade that all in for a world with that. No, I wouldn't. I'd get bored.
Can't get rid of them all, man.
Could we just cut them in half?
No, not to see the dumb people. They have lots of kids. They spread that seed all over the place.
And Darwinism has been undermined with warning labels and medicines and the Heimlich maneuver.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let's see. I forgot what it's. Oh, let's go back to the bourgeoisie New York one. So these protesters, they're yelling at the cops about how the cops don't make enough money and they don't have a college education, and basically just looking down their noses at them as liberals do. And the funny part about this to me is there's even people, oh my God, you shouldn't do that to them. You're being so privileged. Every fucking poll I've seen about Clinton or about Bush, no, Jesus, fuck, Biden? Trump beating Clinton.
Oh yeah.
One of the college whites went for Clinton far more than the uneducated swine that voted for Trump. They have no problem with that.
Oh yeah, they're very bougie.
So now I'm supposed to believe that they actually give a shit about somebody trying to pull the college card? How many times have I laughed at people doing that?
Yeah.
On this show. Yeah. Cops need a raise, good cops. You know, I wouldn't mind if we could give cops a raise. But even if we're not going to give them a raise, at the very least, don't do what de Blasio's doing and take $1 million from, sorry, Cuomo. Take $1 million. Is it No, it's just de Blasio. That's just in the city, right?
I think so.
Where they're taking $1 billion out of the police force. He's not doing it the right way, Jack, because it's just getting rid of some overtime and stuff.
I looked at an article on that, and they're also cutting like victim services for like rape and child abuse.
Well, that's what happens when you start cutting that stuff.
Yeah.
Police do more than just knock on your door with a gun or pull you over because you were speeding. You ever see somebody gets pulled over for speeding and they're mad about it?
Yeah. Well, it's, you
were breaking the law. Stop it. Be mad at the cop because you got busted. Those were the kids when they were little, when they got in trouble, they'd always tell on their sibling for something they did.
Yeah. Tattletales.
In other words, my little brother. One of the funniest things when we were older, my brother asked me, how come you guys never let me hang out with you? Because you told on us all the time. You were, if you gotten even the slightest hint of trouble, you would just squeal like a pig, man. Breaking the law. Yeah, breaking the law. Oh, God, did you see they're rebooting Beavis and Butthead?
I did. I'm a little hesitant because it's probably going to be really super woke or something stupid like that.
Frank says speeding isn't always unsafe, but it's always against the law, dude. I didn't write the rules. I didn't make the speeding laws.
I'm worried that in the new Beavis and Butthead, they'll be like they'll be the dumb white boy stereotype.
I wouldn't be surprised. Fatty says if Mike Judge does it, I'm fine with it. I don't know his politics these days, so I don't know. I have a feeling you guys are going to get a very woke Beavis and Butthead. They're also giving the Jodie character from Daria her own spinoff series. I heard that. I never watched Daria because I knew too many girls like her and it made me want to punch my TV.
Yeah.
The original nihilists. Frank, thank you. Not all laws are just. Beavis and Butthead was back for a season a few years ago. I didn't know that they were back, but I didn't say all laws were just. I said if you're speeding and you're caught speeding, you were breaking the law. And if you have a problem with it, you need to change the law and not take it out on the cop or complain that you got busted.
Yeah, you might not get a ticket if you're nice. Just remember that. Be polite, be professional, and maybe they'll let you slide. Otherwise, they're going to look for every little thing to throw a ticket at you for.
Yeah.
RJ said that Shane Dawson got demonetized.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't either. Apparently, AIU's channel's gone too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that second. But with Shane, a little late to unfuck that pregnant lady. Hey, YouTube. He's already a multi-millionaire thanks to you guys not giving a shit that he ever did any of this stuff. You have to remember, all of the Shane Dawson stuff, all of it is from years ago. It's not like he just did this yesterday.
Yeah.
The only thing he did recently was piss off the beauty community who went looking for this shit and brought it all back to the forefront. Onision brought this shit up at least 2 years ago. At least. Now, at that time, he had only brought up, as far as I know, the stream where he was talking about going and looking up naked babies. But yeah, he was ringing the alarm bell on this fucker 2 years ago, going, Shane is a danger to kids. I'm not making that up. Go look at it. But was he? Oh, AIU. Yeah, I heard he got pulled. I don't know why. I don't know what he did. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I don't know what they've accused him of. It's like prison now.
Yeah.
Except for here, most of the time people are innocent.
Yeah.
I don't know what the infraction was. And frankly, with the way YouTube is going right now, Jack, oh my God, for fuck's sake. Okay, so you know the ongoing issue I've had with them and my streams being manually reviewed before I've even said anything.
Yeah.
And the other day I got a warning that I've had way too many instances recently where I didn't match up what they said I did. I got a thing when I went to make this one. Literally the next stream from the one where they told me that. And this one says, good job. You've been doing really well with telling us what's actually happening. Meanwhile, when I fill that out, it gives me the little green, you're okay for advertising, but everything is still demonetized. Like, you fuckers. I think they're drunk over there. I think Bob in the break room has been like into somebody's meth and things are just going crazy.
Yeah. Oh, what surprised me.
Thank you. Thank you, Frank. They pulled all his channels. Normally it's only one of them, something about violence. Yeah, I don't watch AIU, so I don't know the kind of stuff he's been saying. If I remember correctly from when I have seen him in the past, he's made some violent jokey jokes. You know, like, how do I want to put this? Saying like if he could, he would hurt somebody, but not I would hurt you, but like I would dance on your face or something. I don't even know. But again, it's been years since I watched an AIU video. I don't care about the guy. His political opinion is shit. His religious opinion, good. Another brave guy going after Christians. Hope you got no word for it. With all that said, I don't think his channel should be pulled, though. Unless he was advocating actual violence, unless he was actually advocating a crime, I don't think it should be pulled. Just because I don't like it.
Real quick, thank you, Shiograth. YouTube won't let me say, how can Shane Dawson call himself gay if he still fucks pussy? Hashtag fix your shit.
He calls himself bi, apparently. I've never heard that. Somebody told me that in chat the other day, I think it was. I've heard him say he's gay. And maybe that's just because he's dating a dude, he says it, you know. But I don't know. Frank, thank you. I think glorifying it for having a video of something that happened in his video. Fair enough. I mean, Glorifying violence, so that's not as far as I knew, not a reason to get pulled. Advocating violence would be, but not glorifying. And I'm not saying you're wrong here. Like I said, I don't know. I haven't seen anything of it. All I know is that he was pulled. So
Matt at Winter said that there may be some figuring out of the hate speech thing that you keep getting hit with. It's because you say you don't see race, and that's considered hate speech now.
That could be it, but I don't actually say that every stream. I say it very rarely. I think it's more that they're not actually watching what we do. And you know, it just shows they're not watching what we do when they tell us they've manually reviewed something when a single fucking word hasn't even been said. We're not talking about a video that was uploaded and not made public yet. We're talking about a stream that hadn't even started. 2 of them, at least. So, yeah, I think it's more of an issue of that they're not even actually watching. And I have a really, really sad theory. And by sad, I mean it's going to suck for YouTubers, that they probably got rid of a lot of their people, and we're mostly on the algorithm now.
Yeah.
And some of us have been for a while.
Yeah, I saw Alex Bear. He said that he got a bunch of demonetizations too.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few people. Who was the other one I saw? Nicholas de Oreo. He got hit the other day with everything just going to yellow. And remember, guys, technically with yellow, we can still get ads. If you do get one, it's for a guy who started a car lot in his backyard. But otherwise, yeah, you're not getting ads. So we really do appreciate when you guys support us. All of the donations. This is how I'm paid. Which, by the way, guys, remember, at Streamlabs, pay structure is a little different. So if you can, Streamlabs is a great way to support either Jack or myself.
Indeed.
Frank, thank you so much. Tagged yours on a PC or on a pic, I'm guessing, of the email. Okay. Yeah, if they've changed it to glorifying violence, there's a lot of channels that are going to go away. I would imagine all of the news channels.
Yeah, good luck with that one. It depends on how they're defining violence. Are mean words violence? Are gun channels where they're shooting at the target range, doing reviews of firearms? Are they going to get completely annihilated? What's left of them?
Blondie says, I'll be gone soon. Never even got monetized. They upped the watch time. Are you talking about just to the 4,000 hours? Jack, it also depends on what they mean by glorify. I mean,
yeah.
Is talking about it glorifying it? Now, watching that lady get hit in the head repeatedly with the traffic cone, is that glorifying violence? Don't hit people with traffic cones. It's really horrible. I only watched that repeatedly to let you guys know how bad it was.
Yeah, we were studying it for scientific research.
Well, it's an educational thing. It really is.
We were journalisming real hard.
And watching that flat earther fly his little rocket ship straight into the ground over and over again, I laugh when I'm sad, you guys. That was just for physics research. Frank, thank you. He had a video in the past hit with that. Do a video from TYT of the assault. TYT didn't get a strike though.
TYT's their favorites. They're not going to get struck.
He got hit with a strike. I don't understand what happened in that situation from what you're saying there, but I don't think it would matter. I don't think it would matter. They're coming after it. This time it really does look like conservative, any kind of conservative voice, which is weird because AIU is a liberal hippie shit. He is a hardcore Clinton sucker. He wanted up in that vag bad, y'all. Yeah, Snub, thank you. Real quick, I don't know about glorifying, but I laughed. Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry. Thank you, Snub.
You're fine. I think AIU is a very complicated political person. because he is all over the spectrum. Some things he's pretty hard right, others he's really hard left. So I don't know how to classify him, but he had a lot of very problematic views by today's standards. Because he's real big on like the race realism type stuff, as I remember.
Liberals get the ban hammer too, Peter. That's true. I haven't seen a lot of liberals hit this time.
Well, there's an election coming up.
Yeah, and that's one of the weird things about it is because it look, YouTube, Google said they can't let this happen again. They can't believe it happened, you guys. And yeah, they're not going to let that shit happen again. They're not going to let Trump just win again.
Oh my gosh, not if they have a say in it, which would be called election meddling. But real quick, thank you, tall person. Happy I Forgot Day. Jim, Malcolm, Billy, that's it.
AIU is a lefty. I agree. From everything I've seen, he's left. I mean, the only thing that I've seen that he might be considered any right on is every once in a while he'll bring up Muslims. Every once in a while.
Yeah, like all the time.
They demonetized Sargon. He's a liberal. No, he's not. Check your Streamlabs. I sent one before Billy. Who's Billy?
The one I just read.
Oh, happy special recreation for the disabled day. Well, thank you. Thank you for the is that because I'm disabled?
That's your
thank you. Thank you for the crippled money. I don't consider Sargon right. By what standard?
I think he's become more right over the past couple years. But he's probably still a filthy centrist.
I mean, if somebody called him a centrist, maybe. But he's
centrist.
He's certainly not a liberal by American standards. K-pop making all lives matter trend. Things are strange. Did they do it on accident?
Probably.
AIU is easy. He's a progressive of the 40s. Liberal and conservative are used as tribal monikers, not philosophical descriptors in U.S. politics. They're used as both, actually. See, there's a long history in the United States of liberal, at least in my lifetime, being a dirty word. That your Democrats were like, I'm not a liberal, damn it. And they wanted to make conservative be a dirty word as well, and they've largely done it. But conservative and liberal are still meaningful terms. So we need to check out what Chrissy said. What did old Fredo did today? Let me get this. All right. I haven't seen this. Jack says you said it's funny?
I thought it was kind of funny because you just have to watch it. I don't want to ruin anything. Because
okay.
We're going to have to watch the whole thing, though.
Yeah, that's fine. How's sound?
About what you needed to do. Mr. McCloskey.
Good, bad, up, down?
Good. No, it's fine where it is.
Snubber, thank you. K-pop stands pad the hashtag because they believe it infuriates right-wingers and prevents right-wing points from propagating. They also think the dancing annoys people who are morally wrong. Well, I get that, but usually they're not going to pump up one that the right wing would use. Go ahead and fill it up, but all you've done is just made everybody more aware. And usually they stay away from that. What they'll do is instead they'll pump up Black Lives Matter, you know?
Yeah.
So I believe you, but if that's what they're doing this time, boy, did they misjudge.
The guy in the bottom picture on the right, that one on the left is the guy that had the gun in the pink shirt. And the dude on his side is his lawyer.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is from that standoff at homie's house.
Yeah.
All right, you know, we're gonna take you and me off the screen for a minute here, Jack.
Okay.
There we go. Just to make it a little easier to see, because it looks like they're going to show the video on the side. Snub, thank you. I know that they don't. They're stupid. But like I said, this is the first time I've seen them screw it over when usually they just push up a different one. All right, here we go.
Go ahead. Last word to you.
All right. Guy stands in front of me, pulls out 2 loaded pistol magazines, snaps them together in front of my face, and says, "You're next." Okay. If you were there, Chris, I think you'd feel like you had a right to defend yourself as well.
Absolutely.
Especially considering he thought he had a right to throw a kid downstairs because he was called Fredo.
Yeah.
That just seems to me. All right.
Absolutely. Somebody takes out magazines or ammunition and clicks it and makes a direct threat to me, I would feel threatened 100%.
And that's what happened to me.
And look, I know that you're going through a process with this. I welcome you having counsel. If you were within your rights to do what you were doing, it should be adjudged as such. I wanted to talk to you about the broader implication because it's just a horrible picture of what's going on in America right now. So to me, it's not about what's right and what's wrong just in a court of law. It's about what we want right and wrong about how we treat each other.
What?
Oh, yeah, just wait.
All right.
And that's why the president retweeted this tweet. Mr. Watkins, you know it. And Mr. McCloskey, you know it. He retweeted it because he liked the image of white resistance to this movement.
What?
And I'm not saying that was fair to you, but we know that's why he did it because that's why he deleted it. I wanted you to speak for yourself.
I'm glad you're a mind reader because no one else thinks you are.
Damn.
Oh, in fact, he didn't delete it. Good. Makes my point even more.
No.
Wait. I'm sorry. Back to... What did he just say?
He's talking about Trump tweeting out, retweeting this video and that white power video.
Did he just say we know he deleted it because we know he liked it because it was white people white resistance. And we know that's why he did it because he deleted it. And then he just said he didn't delete it. Well, good. That just makes my point. Hang on. I could not have heard that properly.
McCloskey, you know it. He retweeted it because he liked the image of white resistance to this movement. And I'm not saying that was fair to you, but we know that's why he did it because that's why he deleted it. I wanted you to speak for yourself.
I'm glad you're a mind reader because no one else thinks you are.
Oh, in fact, he didn't delete it. Good. Makes my point even more.
No.
Okay. So if he deleted it, it makes his point. But if he didn't delete it, it makes his point even more.
Yeah, and I think Fredo got confused here because Trump deleted the one with the video of the white power thing.
Right.
I think he thought Trump also deleted the retweet of this video. But he didn't. And that proves Fredo's point even more.
All right.
You didn't say that. It was said to me for me. I'm thinking about something else where someone was screaming white power in a video that the president retweeted. He deleted that one. He didn't delete the one of you. I wanted to give you a chance to speak about it. We both know you don't have to be a mind reader to assess a pattern. You're not a mind reader either. I haven't seen the video of the person clapping the magazines, but you drew certain inferences from the behavior before you. I'm doing the same thing. We've seen behavior before us. I'm making a judgment. I'm sorry that you are caught in it the way you are if it's not what you intended by all of this, Mr. McCloskey, and I wish you good luck. Mr. Watkins, Thank you for representing your client. Appreciate you taking the opportunity.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Be well. We'll be right back.
You could tell he got mad when the guy said he's not a mind reader.
Oh, yeah. He handled it better than he usually does when somebody challenges him.
Yeah, usually CNN just cuts their mics and is like, oh, we lost the feed. Oh, no.
Usually Chris will actually start screaming.
Yeah, because he's a child.
But he did. You're not a mind reader either. You saw these things and you made an inference. Well, that's actually a threatening thing. When somebody says to you, didn't he say that? He said the guy clicked them together and said, you're next.
Yeah.
That's not mind reading. This guy just threatened me. So, okay. because Trump took down the one of the guy who said white power, which, by the way, that is the only thing in that whole thing. Did you watch the whole video of the old people in their little golf cart parade?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that happens in there that is in any way racist, other than the people screaming, "You're racist" at the guys driving by in their golf carts. He deletes that because he's racist. He leaves this one up because he's racist.
Which just proves his point.
Even more. Yeah,
obviously.
Well, Chris, if your point was to show everybody you are a dumbass, yeah, you did prove your point even more. Chris knew who he was talking to here, right?
He thinks everybody's dumb, except him. I'm pretty sure it's a New Yorker thing. They think everybody outside of New York is a fucking idiot.
Yeah. That I'm surprised. Did you even go to college?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't say that to a lawyer. Because both of those guys are lawyers. One is his personal attorney. The other, the guy who had that gun, he's a personal injury attorney.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, did not know that.
And yeah, that's why him and his wife are wealthy. They've done well for themselves. I can't remember what she does, but yeah, he's a personal injury attorney.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Am I the only one that that feels themselves getting dumber the more Fredo talks? No, obviously I am too. But yeah, every time that guy talks, it sounds he's such a condescending asswipe.
Dangerous says, I think the mind reading comment was about Chris presuming to know what Trump thinks. Yeah. That was pretty clear. But he tries to bring it back at that guy with the, you didn't know what that guy thinks. When Chris says to him, you're not a mind reader either, he goes, you saw the things clap together, you made an inference. No, he didn't. He actually said that the guy said to him, you're next.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious. You don't really have to draw an inference. He's like, not like, oh, somebody's gonna get this. That'd be drawing an inference. No, he's talking about me. No.
Pincalo, thank you. Didn't a couple articles say civil rights lawyers? I swear I saw he was personal injury. Were they both civil rights lawyers? There's not a lot of money in civil rights law. I forget their names. Where was this at? St. Louis couple?
Yeah. I don't know how to spell McCloskey, so.
Let's see. Nope.
Oh, they're throwing the name in chat.
On CNN on Tuesday night, Cuomo asked a 63-year-old personal injury attorney how it felt to have become the face of political resistance in the Black Lives Matter movement. This is from the Washington Post as of today. Oh, yesterday. So, and that's not the article I read. So at least two things I've seen it. So maybe she's a civil rights attorney. I don't know. Anyway,
there's an article heavy on him.
What's that?
I threw an article Shio sent me on the side chat thing.
Was this couple pulled guns on protesters? Mark and Patricia are a St. Louis couple who were seen pointing guns at protesters who were walking by their home. They keep doing that at protesters who were walking by their home. The husband and wife who worked together as personal injury trial lawyers came out of their house armed to prevent protesters from walking onto their property.
Are they both ambulance chasers?
Yeah, apparently. That's what this article says.
Huh. Well, whatever they do, I'm sure they make a decent living.
They make a decent enough. See, that's why civil rights lawyer, I'm like, very few civil rights lawyers make that much money. And it's usually somebody who's does something else in their meantime. They do something to pay the bills because civil rights laws, I mean, you're not really getting a lot of money in that. Personal injury made a lot more sense having seen the inside of their house, because ambulance chasers can make some good money. They even if you never have to go to court, man, people settle out of court all the time for 10,000 here, 20,000 there, and they get, anywhere from a quarter to half of that most of the time. I don't get paid unless you do. Those are such scummy commercials, man. A lot of money in personal injury. Yeah, there is. Cuomo also asked if the protesters actually caused any harm to Mr. McCloskey. No, Chris, because they were holding guns. Fucking it. What about the mental anguish, Chris? What about the mental anguish?
Yeah.
These people busted down a wrought iron gate.
Yeah, you see a mob of people doing that. It's scary stuff. Anybody that says it's not obviously hasn't been there. I don't know how you could say that it would be scary.
I mean, Trump wants you to be the face of this movement. Weren't all the protesters like white? Like only one of them was black or something like that?
Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, you'll notice most of your BLM protests right now are incredibly white. We went from a decent mix to like honkies everywhere. You know why? Because these spoiled little kids got way too much time on their hands, and they think this makes them important. They're going to be bragging about this shit for months. I went to that protest. I saw a guy get hit by a car. Without the rifle and pistol on hand, they would have been killed and mansion burned, and everyone knows it. I don't know about that. I'm sure there would have been some damage to the property, but when they start coming up onto the lawn and shit, yeah, get the fuck off my lawn.
Yeah, you never know. Sorry.
Not to mention they had every right to have their guns out.
Oh, yeah. They were terrified. It was pretty obvious they were scared. And you never know what a mob's going to do. It only takes one idiot to start a problem, and then they go from a protest to a riot, and then they are burning your house down. And they probably would have looted their house.
No. I have to say this, because I haven't actually read the law. I'll have to go do it. But under Missouri law, from everything I've seen, you're on private property. They have a right to point that gun at you. If you weren't invited. A form of the castle doctrine. You don't have a right to be there. Get out. And they're lucky nobody got shot in that instance. Anyhow, I'm tired of seeing people vilified for doing the right thing and horrible people held up on pedestals for doing the wrong thing.
Well, it's the behavior they glorify. This is what they want, is the glorious revolution. There can be no sin among the people trying to create the revolution.
Why is the word honkies considered racist towards white people? No one seems to know. I don't know. It's just something that I've heard us honkies called. And now somebody's going to say I'm being a race traitor because I've gotten that before for saying honky too much. As a honky, I'm allowed to say honky, and I'll say honky all I damn honky want.
Yeah, because it's a silly word that doesn't really bother any white people I know. I mean, it's just a word.
Good job, Monkey, for quoting Bloodwing. I didn't realize I was. What did I quote Bloodwing? Yeah, reach out. There's a lot of words like that. Crackers one, and that it's said that that's because of the crack of the whip, which seems like a weird insult.
Yeah. Eventually,
hey,
find a good one. But they gotta keep trying.
I like honky. I think that's the one that everybody should go with. It should be embraced.
I don't know. I kind of prefer jive turkey.
I like jive turkey, but that can go. Anybody can be a jive turkey. There's black jive turkeys. I've seen them.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the same effect.
I just think honky's funnier. I like the sound of it.
Yeah, it is funny.
Blue-eyed devil's a good one, but I don't have blue eyes.
Yeah, Snow Beast is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. And we're allowed to say all of these things because we're honkies. Paleface is a good one. I like round eye. Round eye is one of my favorite white insults or insults against white people. Fucking round eye. Like, yeah, they're supposed to be. Peckerwood is. I never liked Peckerwood because it seems redundant from me. You know, in our age group, I mean, Pecker is a wiener and Wood is a hard wiener. So it's like calling somebody a dick.
Yeah.
And I know that's not how it started, but, you know, common parlance.
Yeah, it's just not a good insult. It's lazy.
Yeah. Redneck's not a bad one, but I mean, all that means is you're out in the sun a lot. You know, there's just not enough good ones for white people. You have to break it down more by individual country and stuff. You know, you have like your mix and things, your guineas and your Dago Wop bastards, those kind of things. You have to break it down that way to get more creative than just white people. Yeah. White's just too general. What? Start a new one like eggshell? You can't start your own racial slur towards your own group.
Sure you can. Why not?
Because that's not how they work.
Go big or go home. Somebody's got to be the first.
That's racist appropriation.
Is it?
It is.
Or is it marketing?
I'm going with round eye honky. That's what you guys can call me.
I like
round eye honky.
I'm sticking with mine. Caucasoid hellhound. I like that.
But yeah,
I know. But hey, if I sell enough shirts that way, I will be a very happy individual.
All right, I guess.
No, they don't know who's coming up with this crap, you know.
Speaking of which, guys, our Teespring stores are linked below. Nuts got her mug and her Not Jack thing the other day. And I missed it. She had to reach out and show me that I missed the tweet. And I'm like, God damn it. Since I took the day off the internet, my mentions were just blowed the fuck up. So I went through as many as I could before. It's like, all right, I'm done. And I missed hers. But thank you so much for the support, sweetheart. She's such a lovely woman.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Frank, thank you. I like Snow Chimp.
See, that was pretty good.
Nah, it's just round eye honky. REH. I'm a reh. Just call me a reh, you guys. Where's that thing I wanted to talk to you about, Jack? Polygon put out a story today. Well, yesterday now. I don't know why I always correct myself. People know what the fuck I mean. Because somebody will go, it's yesterday, monkey. Anyway. Says Last of Us Part 2 proves gaming does not know how to deal with muscular women. And this is the picture. Jack, I don't know how much you paid attention to The Last of Us 2. But
yeah, I paid a bunch of money.
The Last of Us 2, this is the character Abby from inside the game.
Sex scene.
Yeah, right. We've seen her in the sex scene. If you've gone and checked into that weird moment in video game history. My problem here is not muscular women. My problem with this character is if I didn't tell you that was a woman, it would be, if I told you this was a 17-year-old long-haired boy, I think it would be easier for you to believe than if I told you this was a 17-year-old girl. I don't know how old Abby is in the thing, but you know what I mean. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
She looks like Norman Reedus from Walking Dead, but with slight man boobs. and like 30 years younger.
Yeah, just I mean, there's a tiny little perk there to the titties.
Yeah,
very little.
Those are dude shoulders.
Those are totally dude shoulders. That's what it is for me. Plus, if you see the character walks like a dude.
Yeah,
she walk like a man. Thank you, Shrouded Angel. Aren't there a lot of muscular women in fighting games? Yes, tons.
Yeah. Well, look at
they usually look like women still. They still have breasts or hips or something. This looks like a dude.
Well, everything about it, from the walk, all that, it makes it look, because that's how they do empowered women now. If you want to be a strong woman, you imitate a man. That's what they do in all the media now. And I think it's really lazy, and it looks terrible. Like, I thought that was a dude.
The first thing I said to the guys, because I went and watched that, is like, are all of their female characters do they all have those wide man shoulders? And this is when there was a rumor that this character was trans. And so they both came back with me. They both had heard that and hadn't been corrected on it. The audience corrected us a few days later, actually. But they said, that's a trans. And that's a trans woman. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, except that sex scene would be brutal then, because there was no...
I know. Didn't even spit on it. But that sex scene is still brutal. Because you can that first thrust there, that's not a loving thrust. That's not a loving look on her face or a happy look or
no.
That was a damn dude. At least spit on it. Look, Officer Buck, thank you. Same people fawning over Abby are the same people who scream, "Where's her organs?" at an attractive anime woman.
Yep.
This isn't about muscular women. Muscular women have existed in video games for a long, long time, and nobody's like, I just can't deal with this muscular woman.
No, it's
Abby looks like a guy.
Yeah.
Or Serena Williams. Take your pick.
Yeah. Well, even her arms aren't proportionate to the rest of her body because her arms look bulkier than the rest of her torso, which doesn't quite fit how when you see an athletic woman or even a power lifter or anything like that, they're usually more proportionate. This chick's got dude arms on a slightly dudish body.
Yeah, somebody sent us a picture of the person that it was modeled after, and I don't know the person. It's a sideways shot. So this is apparently the person it was modeled after. And I wish they would have shown the front because I want to see if the hips are as wide as Abby's are. But even here, I realize she's holding a bar, but the shoulders aren't up, they're down.
And her arms aren't as thick as what they looked like in the game because she's got a little bit of titty going on there.
Right. So I really wish there was a front shot, and if anybody has one of the chick who they modeled this on, I'd be interested to see it. Gamer Valine, thank you. For the benefit of the devs, she just looks like when women eat very strict for competitions. That's why figure competitors have implants. Abby's not trans. It's the kids with the shaved heads. I know Abby's not. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think it's just bad design.
I know Abby's not trans, but you know what? Let me put it this way, Jack. If they came out and said, no, she was trans, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense too. Because it looks like a dude. There's nothing feminine about Abby at all. Even her voice isn't really feminine, Jack. I don't know who did the voice for it, but god damn, baby. Have some estrogen. Abby looks like a guy or Serena Williams. Why repeat yourself, Monk?
Just in case.
Yeah. Michelle Obama. Who else? I mean, there's a lot. Beyonce. Lots of these women with big shoulders and stuff, but even Serena Williams, she has a smaller waist. The trunk on that character is just straight down. That is a male figure.
Yeah.
In-shape women generally don't have the wide waist to go with it.
I think they were trying to go for androgynous and failed, and they're not going to admit it.
I wouldn't. I really am curious if maybe they were going trans and decided with all the pushback not to do it.
Oh, it's possible.
Snubber, thank you. You're wrong on the voice. Laura Bailey has range.
Well, she sounded like a dude in that one.
Sounded male to me, and if I'm just going to throw this out there, if you didn't have a problem with that voice, when you're on the dating scene, look for that Adam's apple, my friend. Just going to throw that out there. Little helpful tip from your friend Monkey. Hazmat, thank you. The reason why she's buff is to hunt down Joel. I've seen buff women. Like I said, even Serena Williams doesn't have that wide ass waist. And that's a woman who is very muscular and in shape. It's the fucking shoulders, man. Shoulders every time. I can't take big old shoulders on a woman like, I'm gonna call you Steve. I hope that's okay. Where was the other thing today, Jack, that annoyed me? Oh, this one. I got to talk about how the press is a bunch of shitbags because it's what I do. This is a story that the AP tweeted out today. You can go all the way back up here, but they have all these little graphs they put out about how COVID cases in GOP counties and GOP cities and GOP states are going the reverse of more virus cases in GOP-run states. And it's this whole anti-GOP thing they had going on today. And I don't remember them doing this when it was all Democrat controlled. I follow the AP. I see a lot of the stuff they put out. I can't say I saw everything, but I did search and I couldn't find anything from them. Somebody called me a liar and said that you could find stories about that, which is true. You can. I think there were 3 in the Google search that they said they did. But not even trying to hide it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank. Even Ronda Rousey looks more feminine. Again, a female body does more of a V than a man's body does.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to this one right here. A lot of people were commenting on it and how it looks. This graph. This is some dirty shit right here. This is some extremely dirty shit right here. Notice the 2 lines are a mirror image of each other.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. This is a graph of 100%. So if one goes up, the other one will go down. If one goes down, the other goes up. So it will be a mirror image of each other. So that makes it, you got this steady line. The share of new coronavirus deaths in state that vote Republican in the 2016 presidential race has approached and occasionally surpassed that of Democratic voting states, which saw the earliest spikes. Earliest spikes, which is my favorite part of this. They were just spikes, Jack. No, they're spikes. It wasn't a plateau with thousands of people getting it every fucking day. It wasn't that these people were the sickly ones that went out across the country and spread it everywhere. It's that the GOP just doesn't know how to control it like those great Democrats who watched hundreds of thousands of people die. Sorry, tens of thousands. Because what is it, 120,000, 130 by now, I'm guessing? It's just a dirty, manipulative set of graphs like this that they use. So that you guys understand, when you guys go to vote on, what is it, November 3rd? Is it November 3rd that we have voting this year?
I don't know.
Hang on, let me check, because I don't want to say the wrong word. No. Yes, November 3rd, first Tuesday of the month. So November 3rd, when you guys go to vote, remember, if you vote Republican, you're probably going to get corona. YouTube is really big on you guys understanding and getting accurate information on Corona. So I'm going to give you some. If you are under the age of 44, because I just missed the cut. If you're under the age of 44, you have under a 5% chance of dying of Corona if you are hospitalized. Now, your odds of becoming hospitalized are 1/10 of 1%. 1/10 of 1% of the people who get this end up hospitalized. And if you're under 44 years old, you have less than a 5% chance of dying if you're hospitalized. So be scared, you guys. Be really, really, really scared. Kevin, thank you. Japan had 900 virus deaths. Tokyo is 5 times the size of New York City. So we expect the U.S. has had about 700 deaths. Well, we didn't manage our treatment very well because nobody seemed to know what the hell to do. That's one of the things that has become a story that's not being told by the press at all, is how well they're actually treating and managing this now.
Yeah. That's why death rate's so far down.
Yeah. It's when this was first coming out, they were talking 10% death rates. Remember, that was the death rate in Germany, 10%.
Yeah. They were worried about it being like 13 or something here.
Yeah. And there were places here that it was up there. Oh my, no, it's never been that. Not even close. Not even close. But guys, you be careful. What were you saying, Jack?
Now they've got a new, they figured out a steroid to reduce the need for intubation. Mm-hmm. Intubation is what was killing people. If you were on the ventilators, then you were probably going to die. Yeah,
again, take precautions. I'm not telling you guys not to wear a mask. By all means, you should be, just to help stop the spread. But I'm also not scared of it. You guys can be as much as you need to be. Take all the precautions, sanitize the fuck out of your hands. Fuck, sanitize your body every time you go outside. I don't care. But be careful with these people. They are lying to you. And they have been for a long time. If nothing else, lies by omission. Thank you, James. I have more of a chance of getting Corona Chan than Lizzie Warren does of being Indian. That's absolutely true. Gamer Vleen, thank you. Tweeted the body model and voice actress for Abby. Jack will like the voice actress. She's tiny. Body model could oil up like Pat.
Yeah, the voice actress is really hot. I was just looking at pictures of her. I'd touch her no-nos. She it'd be better if she was Asian, but can't have everything.
There's the face for Abby, and yet looks like Abby. They did a good job of creating her face. There's something they flattened of the chin or something that makes it look a little more masculine to me. But even there, that's a more feminine body model.
That's what I said too.
I'm looking at the picture Colleen sent. I mean, she's even more muscular and more feminine.
Yep.
But that chick's also taking roids. I'm sorry, vitamins. Thank you, Kevin. Japan never locked down.
Japan ain't got time to lock down. They got shit to do.
Did they lock down the sick people? Because that's what you should be doing. No, I keep seeing all these people. Here in Michigan, we're locking down again. They just locked down bars again because the economy is recovering too quickly. I mean, because of coronavirus.
Yeah, because they're trying to institute Prohibition 2.0 or something.
It makes literally 0 sense with the death rate, with even the chance of serious infection rate. Remember, in order to be hospitalized, at least according to the CDC and stuff, hospitalization is recommended if your oxygen saturation is below 93%.
Yeah.
Which is getting pretty bad at that point. As an asthmatic, trust me. Been there a few times. And all they did was give me epi and send me home. I don't like epinephrine. I don't like the way it makes my head feel. It's a weird feeling. You feel like you've hyperventilated a lot.
Yeah.
But with the numbers, hospital, remember, we don't want to overload the system. And when they said the system, specifically the hospitals, the hospitalization chance, less than 0.1%. I'm sure there's an actual percentage there that you could do, like 1,000th or something like that. I forget what it is. So I like to say 0.1% because it makes it easier to understand. That is a shit ton small number. That is tiny. It's what is it? It's like 980 out of every 1 million people. And again, if you're under 44, less than a 5% chance of dying as part of that group. What's 5% of 1,000? That's what, 50?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, such an infinitesimally small number. And we have shut down everything. But don't worry, guys. It's because it's a horrible disease. And again, the first time we've ever done this. This is the first time we've ever locked down because of a pandemic like this. Ever. Because a researcher got an idea from his 14-year-old daughter's science project. We shut down the entire U.S. economy. And then you have the people like fucking Schumer and Pelosi up there telling us Trump needs to do more. He just doesn't care about the people. If you cared about the people, you'd be opening everything back up and saying best of luck. You want to help them with their hospital bills if they do get, that would be a much smarter use of our money than what we did with it. If we'd have left everything open and taken that $2 trillion, we could have covered everybody's hospital bills that actually got sick from it. Nope. We took the economy off the table. You know why? Because you got a bunch of scared little bitches out there. Nobody has ever done this before. Fauci says we need to. Who the fuck is he? He's the top medical expert in the country. All right. What's he ever done? What diseases has he cured? What pandemics has he stopped? What has he ever done? And I'm not saying he's not a good doctor, but there's too many people saying, like, he's the most famous person I've ever heard of today. We have never done this before. And after what's happened with the way this has been handled, we should never do this again. Thank you, Kevin. Independent Indian doctor for COVID says 0.005%. Yeah, that goes with what I'm 5% of 0.1%. Yeah, that'd be right.
It would surprise me if, because they've changed the requirements for this thing so much that they're trying to hide the fact that they fucked up. You know, that they got it so wrong early on, and they're just trying to cover for that now by like loosening the restrictions on what's classified as COVID, that sort of thing.
Did you see the video of him it was at some hearing he was at the other day? I think it was a Senate, I can't remember where. Somewhere in Congress he was testifying, and they have video of him. He's got his mask on all throughout, and then he gets up when it's all over, and there's still a camera on him. First thing he does, takes his mask off.
Yeah.
He's sitting in a fucking podium by himself. There's no reason for him to have a fucking mask on. They were called the Dark Ages for a reason.
Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. Most of the Japanese are neat freaks that wear masks all the time and disinfect everything. A lot of their streets are cleaner than some Western hospitals. Yeah, the Japanese are very, very clean people.
Do they have a lot of traffic to China? Because I know they hate each other, but I don't know how their business relations are.
I don't think they do, because they do hate each other.
Yeah.
But the Japanese wear masks a lot anyway, and because of the smog and stuff like that coming from China and North Korea. So, yeah, they're very, very clean people. So it doesn't surprise me that they'd get a handle on this. Plus, they have really good hospital care. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that they're keeping track of stuff over there.
Hi, Cheryl, who asked if we think Mayor Jenny is going to be held accountable for Chaz. No, I don't.
I don't either. But hi.
She might be held responsible for getting into that fight with the councilwoman of color, but she's not going to be held responsible for Chaz. The city of Seattle might, but her personally, no, probably not. And the reason I brought up the business travel and stuff is because that's one of the reasons it got here as big as it did. We have a lot of travel to China.
Yeah.
Lots of businessmen flying back. I've never understood that either in the modern day, why we're not doing more teleconferencing.
Anybody's changing, yeah.
Well, you got to go there and schmooze in person. You can't buy somebody a hooker from across the internet. I mean, you can, but it's not the same. Just saying. We still have a lot of travel in the States that I don't understand. I got to fly to New York tonight to go talk about this business deal. Y'all ain't got phones? All right. But you don't get to wine and dine, again, across the country. You got to do it in person. You got to schmooze. Plus, it's a lot easier to give illegal money in person.
Yeah.
A lot harder to trace. Monk, but they do the same. But once the pandemic hit, they stopped all of it and forced their workers to work from home. Who, the Japanese? Like I said, I have no idea about their business. So I'll take your word for it if they don't have, or that they have a lot of travel. I just know Japan and China fucking hate each other. They have for a long time.
Oh, yeah. They used to go fight in Korea's yard.
The hatred between China and Japan is why Pearl Harbor got bombed. We stopped selling arms to the Japanese, or was the fuel to the Japanese for their war against China. They were bombing the shit out of China at the time. One of many reasons, but
yeah.
One of the reasons, yeah, because those two have hated each other for a long fucking time. Yeah. And now we're on the side of Japan and against China. That's weird, isn't it?
Things change.
It's weird where our world changes around us. Yeah, but we would be, I said this at the very beginning, Jack, and there were people who got very mad at me because they were as scared as they were told to be, but we would have been better off never closing anything. You'll also notice in this little graph that we had there, none of the graphs of that are in that AP line of tweets says anything about the increased number of testing. You have to remember those blue states when they were so bad. This was with very minimal testing. Now we have drive-up testing and shit that people do, the South Korean model, because for some reason that's a thing. Can you imagine if they did that for every possible sickness, Jack?
That could be kind of cool until you had to get like a gonorrhea test where they stick a giant Q-tip in your wiener.
Oh, God. I remember there's an episode of Scrubs where Dr. Kelso decides he's going to offer full body scans for anybody who wants them. Instead of it being for somebody who's sick, it's like just for anybody who wants them. And Dr. Kai's like, this is a bad idea because every hypochondriac in the world is going to be coming in here. And he spends the whole episode trying to convince a hypochondriac not to get this done. It's like, the results from this could fuck up a normal person. You do not need to go in there. You start testing everybody for every possible ailment, you will flood the fucking hospital system.
Yeah.
But if this is what works and this is how we have to save lives, we should be doing that at the very least for the flu every year. Free testing at your local, I don't know, where are they doing? In-N-Out Burger? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Gamer, thank you. They had German-style camps in China and did the same to Korea. Can't really blame them for not playing nice with each other. Japan plays victim.
They have a very long history of fucking each other over.
Yeah.
So it's pretty mutual at this point. The real loser is Korea because they're the ones whose yard everybody fights in.
Here's the thing. I don't know shit about the Japanese these days. I really don't. I don't know their policies. I don't know their politics. I do know they hate China, and I'm with them on that. China is a bullshit communist shithole of a country. They like to play up their big cities, and they never take anybody out to the rural places where they shoot people for saying the wrong thing against the government.
Yeah.
They have that social credit system. Isn't that a nice thing? So yeah, at this point, I'm with the Japanese, even if they're shitbags too. Kevin, thank you. They never made a test for COVID. What they have is a non-isolated RNA test that's garbage. It's the one we go with. They have what I hear last 11 different approved tests for it, something like that. Most of them are the antibody tests, or 11 antibody tests. And they don't show if you have it right now. They just show if you had it. I kind of want one of those, Jack. I want to go get an antibody test and see if I've had it. How the fuck would I know? I take so many numbing pills. I wouldn't know.
That's true.
And how many times have I been like, damn, I feel bad today for no reason?
Well, I think that if you do end up having had it, you got it from the stairs.
If I end up having had it, I'm going to proclaim that my cigarettes kept me safe. Just saying. That ACE2 inhibitor. I went to museums for the Battle of Okinawa. It's a sovereign kingdom. Japan invaded and told the locals that the U.S. would kill the men and rape the women and eat the babies. Yeah, there's anytime I have to talk about the bombs being dropped, because there's still people we should have never dropped those bombs. If you know anything about what happened, what Japan was like during that war, the battle at Iwo Jima, all of the fucking battles in the Pacific there, they were horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the one island we took? Was it Iwo Jima? I can't remember. But there were like 30 soldiers, 30 Japanese soldiers left. They would not give up. We had to kill them all. And at the time, the Japanese government was telling people that if the U.S. came to the mainland, we would eat them. Not just their babies, eat them. And there was a documentary I was watching on this. It was one of those things, Jack, where they were commemorating. Real quick. Thank you, Zach Osborne. And don't forget, we have the new improved G4EA H1N1 swine flu to look forward to. Yay, thanks, China. Yeah, it's the new swine flu that they found the other day that can be passed to people, but it doesn't pass from person to person yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was this thing where they were doing the commemoration of everything that happened. And they were talking to some of the old Japanese people. And yeah, they told us you guys were going to come eat us. If we would have had to land in Japan, if we would have had to go in there and fight, we would have killed a whole lot more than we did with those two bombs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's why they dropped the bomb.
And then we dropped the second one because they didn't think we would. Like, quit. No. And wasn't there was one of the Japanese advisors to Hirohito who, even after the second bomb, he's like, no, we shouldn't surrender. And Hirohito comes out and surrenders, and that guy killed himself. He quit and killed himself.
Damn.
Like, damn, he really, really hates surrendering. Whose birthday is it? Massive Dynamic. It's your birthday. This one's for you, and a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Massive Dynamics. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. I hope you had a great one.
Happy birthday.
Or have a great one. I don't know if we're at the end or the beginning.
I don't know.
With the time we do this show, you never can tell. James Colley, thank you. Japan were made humble after the drop. Hell, those fuckers still preach patience and humility. Well, they made some mistakes in World War II. They made some big mistakes.
Yeah.
And their alliance with the Germans never really made sense to me, Jack, other than an alliance of convenience. It's not like they were near each other even at that time. These days, you can get places a lot quicker than you could even back then. I know we had cars and shit in the 40s, but it's not like you could just throw all of your people on a jumbo jet and land half your army in Germany to back them up, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hero had very little to do with the military of the Empire of Japan. It's kind of like the Pope of Japan. You're thinking of Tojo. Didn't Hirohito, wasn't he the one who surrendered?
Yeah, he was the emperor.
Yeah, I mean, he still had to be the one that he could have overruled them. The advisors are the ones who gave him it was Tojo, the advisor, who's like, yeah, we should quit. Because I know there was a big fight amongst them, and the guy who's like, no, we shouldn't surrender, he won after the first bomb was dropped. And then that second one was dropped, and like, oh fuck, man, they ain't playing no more. Which is weird, because what we did to Nagasaki and Hiroshima was nothing compared to what we did to Tokyo.
Oh yeah, we firebombed the shit out of that.
We knocked out the water towers and then firebombed the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever go see, if you see the pictures of like Hiroshima and Nagasaki from right after the bomb, yeah, it just flattened everything. Go look at what we did to Tokyo. A fucking city at the time built of sticks.
Yeah.
We set that motherfucker on fire. Yeah, we did. Firebombing killed more than the atom bombs did. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. But people were so afraid of the atom bomb. And I mean, rightfully so. Even those ones they packed a hell of a punch. But it's not like that was even the worst thing we could do. Oh man. Gotta think Japan called bin Laden after 9/11 and asked if they had heard of history books.
Right?
Yeah. Wake the sleeping tiger, man. Yeah, you got to be careful pissing us off. At least you used to have to be. I still think you have to be under Trump. I don't know what will happen under Biden. I got to tell you, Jack, I'm thinking Biden might win.
It's always a possibility. I hope.
And I got to say this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just hope he doesn't.
I say this with anytime we talk predictive politics, anything could change. But if the election were held today, I think Donald Trump would lose.
Probably.
I think there's just too much nonsense going on right now, and Trump has not been able to push back hard enough against it. He needs to get out there. What helped him during the initial COVID thing was that he was there every day. And for whatever mistakes he did make during that time, he still did a lot right, especially just being out there, being presidential. It's why his rallies do so well for him. He's got to be in front of the people, and he's locked down right now. I don't know that his rallies are the way to go, but if I were him, I'd start joining the daily press conference. Frank, thank you so much. Obama got us in more wars than Trump. Has Trump got us into any? I mean, the closest he's come was, did we even fire? I mean, I guess killing Soleimani would technically be an act of war. But otherwise, yeah, Trump hasn't started any. Trump needs to get in gear and get us the fuck out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
There's no reason for us to even be there. All we're doing is giving them a shit ton of money and having our soldiers killed. Not just our soldiers, a ton of Afghanis. Fuck me. A whole bunch of those countries have been killed, Jack.
Well, it happens, you know.
We got the big bombs. No, we need to just pull out. We're it's what was it last I saw? 600,000 Afghanis have been killed. Just your ordinary folk, not counting the three different warring sides, because you have the coalition, which would be the US, Britain, the current government, then you have the Taliban, and then you have just the regular people. And there's a lot of death going on. It's like 120,000 between the two warring sides, and then over 600,000 just regular Afghanis killed. Wow. And meanwhile, we're spending millions of dollars a day. Billions, I think it's billions a week or something like that. Yeah, it's fucking retarded. We need to get the fuck out of there.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. I think Trump's in trouble. Biden has been hidden, and they're not going to pull him out. There's no way to force him out. There needs to be a much bigger movement from Trump supporters of getting Biden in front of the people if you guys want Trump to win. Because as long as Biden's hidden, people don't get to see the cognitive decline. You got a clip here or there every couple of days. Doesn't have the same impact as daily. And he's already said he's not going out on the campaign trail. He can't go out on the campaign trail, you guys. There's COVID. So he's getting a pass, a complete pass. The same reporters who are telling us that there wasn't enough vetting of Donald Trump, who ran damn near 24/7 negative coverage of Trump in 2016, have no questions at all for Joseph Biden. Not a one. So he's getting hidden. Meanwhile, Trump isn't the one getting to set the narrative. Even back in 2016, when he's doing all of his rallies and stuff, they're covering him, they're talking shit about him, but there was video clips for people to have shared between each other, like, this is what Trump actually said, you know? So right now, all you have is maybe him talking real quick on the way to the helicopter in the news, cutting it out. You don't get to see everything because they cut the clip themselves, and there's no live feed of it. This is why Trump did so well. Trump does very well when he talks. Unfortunately, they're keeping him hidden. So if you are a Trump supporter, I would recommend two things. One, suggesting to Trump that he needs to get out there more, whether it's on TV or whether it's in his rallies. And two, hammering every news person you can about why they're letting Biden get away with hiding. This is a presidential candidate. Who I defy you to tell me what he's running on other than not being Trump. He's not even running on Obama's record anymore. He did that during the debates when he'd be asked a question. Well, when we were in the White House, Obama had me fix that personally. But he's not even running on Obama's record. He's just running on, I'm not Trump, and please give me money. He shills more than I do. Which, by the way, remember, we're brought to you by you. If you enjoy the show, hit the like button, hit the share button, and if you could, toss shekels at Jack. He's a really good guy. You can also buy his merchandise. He has great Not Jack merchandise down below. Check it out. Trump has massive enthusiasm. Biden has none. Don't see how he wins. It doesn't matter how much enthusiasm you have when nobody can see you. And if you're looking at just the numbers, you have the press telling people every day that nobody likes Trump. Nobody likes Trump. And whether you like it or not, there is a psychological thing that happens with humans where nobody wants to be the odd man out. And when I say nobody, hashtag not all, you have some people who are like, I'll be the strange one, the weird one. But most people want to be part of the group. And you see, that's what happens with polls and stuff. You show this poll that everybody's supporting Biden and nobody likes Trump. Nobody wants to be like, well, I like Trump. You have Trump supporters. They get shouted down immediately on any platform that matters. And if they don't, they get shut out of that platform. Look, anything can happen. We're only into July. We still have the conventions coming up. Again, they're not even going to be real conventions. Biden's not going to have to get up there and give a speech like he would. He's going to give a telespeech. Yeah, I think Trump is in trouble if he doesn't get out in front of the people. It's going to be like 2016. A lot of people won't admit they're going to vote for Trump. Even back then, if you look at the polling and stuff, though, the polls weren't this bad. You do have to remember, if you go back and look at 2016, you can see polls that show what happened. One of the biggest problems with 2016 is they spent way too much attention on the national poll. And the national poll was correct. The national poll was correct. Whether you guys like it or not, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. So if all you were doing was doing a national poll and like, who are you voting for? There you go. Bam. National poll, Hillary wins. You have to look at the states. And then you have places like 538 who does aggregate polling. They look at the polls of different states. They look at, they weight the different polls. But if you actually go and look at the polls that were there are a lot of them that show, yeah, Trump was going to win. And especially if you break it down by the states that he did win. This time, like in Michigan was close. He only won Michigan by about 10,000 votes. And if the vote were held today, he's not winning Michigan. I promise you that. He's just not. Where most incumbents, they start out with an advantage. There's been so much negativity towards Trump. You have the COVID thing, and then the Black Lives Matter thing, and now we're right back to COVID. And not only are we right back to COVID, we're back to COVID where they can say, look at how bad it's getting in the Republican-owned places. Look how bad. Pay no attention to how bad the BLM stuff is in Democrat places. Pay no attention to all of the people getting killed by cops that they're so worried about. This is happening in Democratic-controlled places. Don't look at that. Look at how COVID is rising in all these Republican-owned areas. There is a lot of psychological warfare going out there, a lot of propaganda. And you guys don't have to believe me. But from what I'm seeing, Trump loses right now if it's held today.
Yep. Most likely, which is really depressing. I don't think he's been doing that bad of a job.
He hasn't.
Especially not what Hillary would have been.
He's done a decent job. I don't hate him. But what he's doing right now, this is something weird, and I haven't seen it from Trump before. He's almost completely on the defensive right now. And maybe it's just that that's all the media will cover of his story. If you watch what Kayleigh McEnany does, did I say her name right for a change?
Something like that. I have no idea how to say her name.
I think I got it. Anyway, if you look at her, like when the reporters ask her stupid questions, she'll answer them, and then she goes immediately on the attack.
Yeah.
That's what Trump needs to be doing instead of trying to explain himself so much. Give a short little answer and then go on the attack. And he's not doing that. And as somebody who enjoys the game of politics, this is a weird one, Jack. It's weird right now. Because I would have never thought it's like Trump is back on his heels. And that is not where Trump usually is. Even when they're hitting him with the worst of the worst, Trump is out there with his balls just going, what? So what? Johnny Hellcat, thank you. I got money on it being a tie until they announce the final electorate. And just as they do, they both have a heart attack and we get to start over. I'm going to say probably no.
That would be horrifying.
Trump has high enthusiasm. He beat Dems at their own primary. Fox got record viewership for his Tulsa rally. Everything is showing the polls as being very suspicious. When
they report the negative that Trump's losing, that gets in people's heads. And people still have to get out to vote for him. If they get overconfident, they're not going to go out to the polls like, he's got this in the bag. And if they buy into the propaganda that the news entertainers are spitting out, then he'll lose that way too, because he'll be like, oh, it's a lost cause. He's going to lose.
With the primaries, I know he's got rare enthusiasm in the primaries, especially if you go back over the last 4 incumbents. Trump's primary numbers are unprecedented, like just astoundingly unprecedented. But that doesn't necessarily transfer to votes in the general election. And even in some of those primaries where he had these high turnouts for him, he still doesn't beat the total number of Democrat votes. As for the record viewership of his Tulsa rally, that was his first rally in 4 or 5 months. And everybody was, well, what's he going to tune in to say? And you saw what the fucking media did to him on that. Oh, he lied about how many tickets were given out. No. He lied about how many were requested. No. There was a gay out that happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gamer Blaine, thank you. This news is burying ATF shenanigans. What is the ATF up to these days? I haven't heard of them since Waco, really. They've kept it themselves on the down low. They got in a little bit of trouble there, Jack.
A little bit. They deserve to be.
Like, oops. We may have lied quite a bit. We may have made it possible for a whole bunch of people, men, women, and children, to die when we could have just arrested this fucker when he went into town next. That's the part of that story that really blows my mind, Jack.
Oh, they had opportunity after opportunity to bust him, and they didn't do it.
Yeah, all over the place. Could have just waited, and he went into town regularly.
Yep.
If you watch any of the TV movies, though, he'd been hunkered down for like years.
Yeah.
ATF trying to ban pistol braces. Oh yeah, I saw that. That makes it look like a military weapon, Jack.
Oh my god. Because looks are the most important thing about firearms.
Well, it's true. At least when it comes to gun control debates in our country. Look at the AR-15, man. You can get that where it looks like what people would think a hunting rifle is supposed to look like. You change the aesthetics on it, same rifle, and suddenly it's a military style weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded. People are I am ashamed of how pussyfied America's gotten.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's bad.
South Park did that joke about people running from global warming. They're making a joke from the movie Day After Tomorrow. I could actually see people run from COVID.
Yeah.
Like if you went into a mall and went, I have COVID, people would just fucking scatter. Run like, oh my God, I'm being shot. A bunch of goddamn pussies. Two things that are literally the exact same gun. Literally. Don't fire any different. No fire rate change. Nothing else except for what it looks like. And like, that one's okay. This one, I just peed looking at it. Thank you, Kevin. Waco, Texas is the largest mass shooting in our history, and all the government did was apologize. You're lucky you got an apology. If you look at some of the things that happened under the Clinton administration, because you had Ruby Ridge, you had Waco, you had the Elion thing, you had the bombing of the aspirin factory is probably my favorite. Yeah. And in Bill's defense, I do think that he just ran with bad intelligence. Because he did it to change the news cycle. He absolutely did. But the intelligence they had, there was some that said it might be a chemical factory. So he's like, hit it. We got to change the fucking news cycle. Yeah, he not the best record there in the Clinton administration. They should have just left him alone so he could get his dick sucked. I think we should have a national fluffer, Jack. I think there should be somebody whose job it is to suck the president's dick when he's a little too stressed. He's like, hey, bring Monica in. And you guys go away for just a little bit. Turn on the webcam. Get his dick sucked, jizz wherever he wants to. You know, whether.
Ew.
I'm trying to imagine the ad for that. Wanted fluffer for the White House. Swallowing preferred, but not mandatory.
I'm just intrigued what the president's OnlyFans would be like.
I know, right? You could probably pay the fucking national debt with it. You get a pretty girl in there who likes to suck dick. There's women who like to suck dick. Pay him what, 150 grand a year? No, let him make the same as a congressperson, 175 a year to go in there and blow the president whenever he wants it. Now, he can't let his cabinet have that. It's just for him. Just for him. No lending her out.
Would there be a backup fluffer for days she calls in sick?
Oh, she don't get no sick days at that price.
Oh, fair enough.
The president's always the president. She's always the fluffer. Sorry.
I don't know. If she had like a stomach flu or something, it might be a bad plan.
All right, we can have two. We don't want the presidential dick sucker to have COVID and still be there sucking.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to watch that. Thank you, gamer. Not about aesthetics. It's similar to bump stock. They say technically no because of NFA. I don't understand how it would be the same as a bump stock in any way.
Well, you just got to twist logic around a little.
It doesn't help you fire faster, does it?
A bump stock?
No.
No, but stop them from doing anything.
Yeah, I don't know. The opposite of a food taste tester. No, it says, I mean, this isn't about the taste, all right? This is about keeping our commander-in-chief satisfied, happy. He has a rough press conference. Instead of him going out and blowing up an aspirin factory, he gets his dick sucked. I feel like that's a service we should be providing the president. Thanks for going with me on that. All right, guys.
I don't know what to say to that?
You should say, Monkey, you're right.
You are correct, sir.
Thank you. It's just a good deed, too. And don't forget, one day we'll have a woman president, Jack. It's going to happen. Yeah. And she might look like Angela Merkel. So we're going to have to pay somebody to go down on that. Nobody's going to do it freely. You know what I mean? Nobody wants, Merkel lips on their face.
Oh, thanks for that haunting imagery.
Do you think she queefs in German?
I don't want to know.
What's the German word for queef? Somebody asked Badger, what's the German word for queef?
No, don't do that.
Is there?
Badger didn't do anything to us.
Well, he's German. He's the only German I know.
They probably have a dozen words for it. They're Germans.
Yeah, see, now, look. People are like, I'll do it for 175K. Exactly. Wait, you mean Merkel, right? Not the president? I'm not judging you either way, but das Queefen. Monkey, that's disgusting. What? A queef is a natural bodily function, and I feel like we don't talk about it enough. Jack, how come when the women are telling us we have to know about their periods, they never tell us we have to know about their queefs?
I think they still deny those exist.
Is there such a thing as a chunky queef?
Ew.
Well, I mean, not actual chunks in it, but like the lip flaps just right.
Ew.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to end on chunky queef. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Thank you for the donations. You guys are amazing, and I appreciate it. I don't think I'm going... Shark says I just vomited a little. Sorry about that. I'm not going to do a game stream right now. I'll do one after I wake up because, I'm my hands are a little sore, Jack.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it makes it hard to do the controls, and sometimes I push through it, but I'm gonna rest them. So, guys, we really do appreciate you coming and hanging out. Jack, is there anything you want to show?
I'll throw a link to my Roll for Sandy channel in there, and a link to my latest video, because shameless show like that. But thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome.
I just had a horrible thought, Jack.
Uh-oh.
You know what shard is, right?
Yeah.
Is there a queef equivalent?
Yeah, but it's probably spooge related.
It's a squeef. We'll be on Satsu 2 Cents channel tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. And keep an eye on Twitter for whenever I do my game stream. Remember, guys, links for me and Jack are all down below. All of our channels, our Twitter. Make sure you're following us over there. If you'd like to support us when we're not on the air, you can still donate. And you can hit our Patreons or go over there and get yourself some nice merchandise. Both of us have stores. All linked below. Check it out. Love you guys. Jack, thank you so much for joining me. Everybody, we'll see you next time. Have a good night.
Bye.
Don't talk about queefing.